Oh, that's so cool. Hey, y'all. All right. Welcome in. It is Friday. Let's go. This was the longest week I think I've had um, this year so far. So, welcome in. This is an impromptu Friday live because there's so much stuff going on here at the US Space next week. And so, I asked one of our ecosystem people to hop on with me and we're going to have a whole conversation. So I want you to already start liking and loving and sharing as needed, because as many people need to know about what's going on next week at the US Space. And I'm going to kind of talk about all that stuff. So first off, it's February. And February is such a great month, and there's so many things going on. So I'm excited to have Desiree here. Desiree, what's up?
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. So talk a little bit about who you are and how we met, because the way we met is by way of two states and ships passing in the night. So I'll
Yeah.
tell my side, which starts with, the US Space. We're Flex Third Space, we're ecosystem building, we're resource driven, and we are on the hunt for our second and third and fourth locations. And we are not limited here to Houston. So what we are like trying to do and working on doing is space prospecting and figuring out where we're going next. And I went down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, because I heard that there was like a thing going on there. And like 3 or 4 people tried to connect us while I was in Tulsa, and it never happened. So fast forward to your side of the story.
Yes. And hey, everyone, I'm Desiree Frieson, Director of Programming with Build In Tulsa. Yep, we are in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And moved here actually from New York City 4.5 years ago. And so about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I went to an event called Founders and Funders of Color in Houston. And I end up in, how do I say this, the name of the building? The Epperson Building? Epperson Building? Did I say it right? And did I say it right? Esperson. The Esperson Building. And, LaGina is there and she's talking and I'm just like, oh, this is like so amazing. She was like, yeah, I was in Tulsa and I was trying to get in contact with you. I was like, what? You were? So I go back through my email and yes, that was true. And that was like 6 months before that. So this, like, she comes to Tulsa in April 2024.
Yeah.
And then I go to this event in Houston in December 2024, the Founders and Funders of Color. And she was like, yeah, I've been trying to connect with y'all. And I'm just like, oops, my bad. And so happened to come to Tulsa. She was in our building, in our space. And I had to probably be somewhere on the 3rd floor of our building when she was here. But I happened to meet her while within her space at the US Space a year and a half ago. And so it's been a pleasure getting to know her and the US Space and all the amazing events in the community that they bring together. And yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah. And you know what, Desiree, I love this story because I think that sometimes, like, as founders, like, we get in our head and because I was in my head, I was like, dang, they don't want to meet with me. I'm doing things, and then when you saw me on that panel, you like recognized me, and then you told me, and I was like, oh, and we put it all together. So some of it is around that, those follow-ups, the persistence, not taking things personal. So it was like a founder lesson for me. It was also, it's so weird when you think of organizations and people don't understand that there's always, without fail, unless you were Fortune 500, 600, 700, there are always 3 or 4 or 5 people running a whole org. So it's like the perspective comes into play. So I love that aha moment because it's so for real.
And I'm horrible on email, y'all. I mean, I am horrible on email because she sent an email, mind you, like I said, it was like April 2024. And when I went back to it, when I looked for it in December 2024, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even see that email at all. It was unread. And so So that just showcases to you my email box. And I was just on vacation for a few days, a week and a half ago for 3 days, received 1,000 emails. And I just said, whatever's not in the first top 50 is they will respond back to me. So I'm horrible, but I will respond to you on LinkedIn. And
hey, you know, LinkedIn's my vibe, right? So it's amazing. Okay, so we could go on it. That could be its own live, y'all, about following up, not taking things personally, popping stuff to the top of people's inboxes because it's needed. That could be its own live. So we'll fast forward from that. I see LaMink Beauty up in here. Ooh. I see Trey Nelson. I see a whole bunch of people. So y'all give us hearts and likes. Share this with people who need to know, because we're about to talk about what's going on next week. So before we do that, I want to tell y'all my personal founders win. So if you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is LaGina R Harris, LaGina Ray, however you know me. And I am the proud founder of the US Space. So we are intentional space for people to build, grow, be visible by way of business education, because we know business is its own university, and also ecosystem building, ecosystem development. And as a founder, my thought leadership is around space revitalization and the future of work. So that's me. And my founder win is that next week here at the US Space, everything that's happening, the US Space is not putting on. And that's my big founder win, because I created the US Space not for me to do programming, but for this space to be utilized and used up for the very maximum of people doing leadership work, people doing founder work and everything like that. So Desiree, I want to say thank you for being a part of my founder win. And I really appreciate how we met and your way of intentionally building ecosystems, and also Build in Tulsa and what they're doing out there. So let's dive into it, because there is a We Build Houston Roadshow going on. And I kind of want you to tell me about it, and then give me some tea on it. Like, don't make this live all like where they could go and read everything. I want people to know something if they tapped into this.
All right. Well, so the We Build stands for Women Entrepreneurs Build, and it's an accelerator program that we run here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, just for female founders to build the sisterhood. So that's where the T comes in. It's about sisterhood. It's about women elevating and uplifting each other. It's about women supporting each other in business, in life, in caregiving, in motherhood, and I already mentioned sisterhood, but like colleaguehood, and just thinking of when we created this program, the We Build Accelerator in 2023, which LaMink Beauty, who's in this live, was in 2023, and she also moved to Tulsa from Houston, and she will be there actually on the panel next week, Tuesday. But we created this program to create a safe space, a holistic space for women to get support, not just for their professional development, but for their personal development. And so there are a lot of accelerator programs out there that's going to teach you about business education. They're going to teach you about customer archetypes and revenue models, and they're going to teach you about protecting your business idea, marketing and sales, and all those things. That you'll find those in a lot of different accelerator programs. And we wanted to do something different, and we have done something different over these last 3 years. And that is think about the woman, centering the woman, her wellness, her needs, centering that she is pulled in lots of different directions. Like I said, she's a mother, she's a sister, she's an auntie, she could be a grandma. She can be still maybe a full-time employee at another job while also working on her business to elevate her life as well. So just thinking about making sure that we have been intentional, but make sure they have access to mental health services, making sure they have access to living stipends. We can't assume just because you're in an accelerated program that you have enough money to live off of and be in a program.
Let's go.
Yes, we provide access to $500 a month in childcare or healthcare, because we cannot assume that the founder has access to healthcare or childcare to be in a program like this, because it's a full-time program. It's 35 to 40 hours a week that we're asking them of their time. And so, but it's also fun. This program typically has been in the springish, summerish time of the year, and this year, September 2nd to November 20th. So it's on the end half of the summer coming into the fall. But it's fun. We every Wednesday we get together and we do something fun. We go on hikes. They went go-karting one year. We went We went golfing one year. We've been to happy hour. We gotten our nails done together. You know, we take walks. We do exercise together. We went on a pool day together. We went on a retreat together this year it was in Oklahoma. It was in a very rural area of Oklahoma, but it was very zen, very downtime. Just connect with yourself, connect with nature, connect with each other. So we really are we want your business to grow. That's what this program is about. It's very focused on traction and sales. And as we've done this program over the last 3 years, we keep growing what this program is about. And then also making slight pivots to make sure that we're actually growing the business, but we also want to make sure we develop the human as well. And so, we're looking for exceptional founders in Houston, Texas. We know we get a lot of our founders from Houston, Texas. A lot of people love us in Oklahoma, and so they love Tulsa too. So this is our first opportunity that we've really done in Houston to come and meet founders who are in tech and CPG businesses, specifically for CPG, beauty and wellness companies. We would love to meet tech companies. We're industry agnostic. However, the one biggest requirement is that you're in market and you're selling, you have some type of recurring revenue. But we're also looking for Houston's amazing, but we also trying to snatch some of these entrepreneurs up to Tulsa and come live in Tulsa. So that's part of the tea. We love, and don't get me wrong, I love me some Houston food. I love me some Houston weather. I love me my Houston clothing. I love Houston. I love coming to Houston. But I do believe Houston's got and has had something special going on. Build in Tulsa is about making sure diverse founders, women founders, men founders, just founders in general have a platform and opportunity to really grow their businesses and find a home like Kim Roxy has in Tulsa. So we want founders to come to Tulsa, see what we got to offer, and think about Tulsa as their place to grow their wealth, to grow their business. We would love to one day see a whole community of diverse founders with their logo on the side of a building right here in Tulsa, downtown Tulsa, somewhere in Tulsa. But we're really rebuilding Black Wall Street here in Tulsa, and Houston has an amazing Black Wall Street, has an amazing Black community. It has an amazing Black business community as well. But we are truly seeking those that see the opportunity in Tulsa to come on up. And so we come to snatch some entrepreneurs from Houston.
Yeah. So, the US space, we're all about presenting opportunities because, I always say that Houston is the space where, if you can do it here, then you can make it grow and root anywhere. So that's why we have all those people out there all over the country and all over the world from right here in Houston. So I think this is beautiful. And I will say that it's not about going to Tulsa and making it happen. And I love that you said that it's making it happen again. Mm-hmm. So if y'all are up for it, keep listening. Shout out again to Lamique Beauty, because when we were in Tulsa, when the US Space was in Tulsa, we actually did a pop-up at Lamique Beauty. Kim Roxy and her team opened up their doors, and we did a little impromptu work accountability day there. So we need to get it going again, get it bigger, and do all that stuff. Because who knows? Maybe the US Space is coming there in the next couple years as well. And my favorite thing is you say that $500 a month to childcare and healthcare. And that means healthcare includes mental health services. And I'm a huge advocate for mental health work. So I love that. Okay.
It's actually different. They can use the $500 for either healthcare or childcare. And we give them access to BetterHelp to connect with a therapist while in the program at no cost to them. So they get credits and they are able to log into BetterHelp, and they can find the therapist of their choice and meet with them throughout the program. And if they have credits left over, even after the program. But yeah, it's actually both.
Okay. All right, y'all. So as we keep diving into this, I know you have questions because I'm writing them down. And as a founder, yes, I'm a represent, and I'm going to ask all the questions. But if you have something that you want to make sure gets answered, go ahead and start dropping it in the chat. We're keeping our eyes on everything. Okay. So you kind of talked about what this is for, who this is for. Why does this matter right now? Because, as a founder and everything going on in the world right now, community is so important, and you've touched on community. So I'd love you to dive into kind of a highlight of what's going to happen on the 24th of February
Yeah.
and why this is so important. Why y'all doing this for the first time? And why y'all pick the US space to do it with the first time?
Yes, well, I'll answer backwards. We picked the US space just because you've always been amazing. The times that I have come to the US space, I've always felt welcome. You talked about community. But specifically, what made me realize that this would be a great place to bring our roadshow was during the TUS House. During Afrotech. And just seeing all the diverse women in there, first of all, with diverse business backgrounds, ideas, where they were in their journey, just the questions that they asked great questions. I'm just like, yes, sis, yes, you're asking the right questions. Like, I love this. But there was just so much energy. There was a vibe and an air of like, I want the support. I need the support. I'm coming to this event because I'm leaning into what these other founders have done and what I might need. You curated an amazing panel list of women and still at the early stages all the way into like later stage into the growth stage. You brought in people who worked with NASA, who work on the International Space Station. And when I saw that, I'm just like, for me, I don't see a lot of Black women in aerospace or in space in general, not just here in Tulsa, just in general, just in my life. And I was able to see that in your space. And I was just amazed at what they were talking about. I'm like, yeah, these Black women. I was like, oh my goodness, what are they? They're talking about things that I can't even imagine, the things that they've seen. And I was just like, I want to meet more founders just like that who are excited. Because everyone in that room was excited when they were on the all your panelists, but specifically that panel, the questions, everyone was just like, wow, they work on the International Space Station. Yeah. And so it felt like you had the right community of folks, and you have the right community of people who were truly engaged and really wanted to be there and were really supportive. And the networking afterwards, really no one was shy. Everyone went up and talked to everybody. And so so that's what I really realized. It was a great opportunity to bring our Rebuild Roadshow to Houston in your space. So yeah, we'll be there next week, Tuesday, February 24th. Our programming starts at 10 o'clock a.m., but we'll open doors at 9:30 a.m. And we're going to do a panel about what is Rebuild. We'll go into a little bit more about the program during that panel. And then we're going to bring in two of our amazing alumni, Lamique Beauty, who we just mentioned, with Kim Roxy with Lamique Beauty. And we're also going to bring in Ashley Yearby, who is the founder and CEO of Secure the Bags. And so she is actually a native Tulsan who moved to Houston, and she's been living in Houston for the last decade or so, but she's also been moving in between Tulsa, Houston, and Louisiana, New Orleans, because she opened up a shop there for her locker storages. And so she's going to be on our panel. And so everyone who attends will get an opportunity to hear the direct experience from two folks who completed Lamique did cohort 1 and Secure the Bags did cohort 2. So they will get to learn a little bit about their experiences, but just about Tulsa, just about their business, just about how they see themselves, how they saw and experienced a sisterhood from the program. And then we're going to do office hours. So we're going to break for a little bit. We're going to have lunch. And then we're going to do office hours from about 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. And you can sit down with either myself or our managing director of Build In Tulsa, Ashley Sims, and you'll be able to learn a little bit more.
Ashley.
Yes, Ashley will be there, and to see if your business is eligible potentially for the Webuild program, and then you'll have an opportunity to apply after that. But we definitely want to meet founders, come to the panel, but we want to sit down with you and do a one-on-one. The panel's important, the one-on-ones are even more important because we can talk about your business. And the program's in September, so you can walk away with understanding your eligibility for the program, but also maybe some mentorship and some coaching around what might help your application case, or just what might help your business overall in general. Yeah. So we want to meet founders in that time slot. So when they sign up to the event, they will get a link to sign up for office hours with Ashley and myself. And then we're going to have a mixer from about 4:30 to 6 o'clock p.m. And so just the opportunity to continue networking and meet other founders. So we want you to come out. We want you to bring your friend founders out. We just want to bring your community out. And so I think I answered your questions of why the space, what's this program doing in Houston? And why this matters is I think the the one thing. Well, I think it goes without saying, even still to this day in 2026, less than 2% of funding only still goes to female founders. And, you know, a lot of those numbers come from within the tech space, and consumer product good companies, manufacturable companies. It's still harder to raise capital or alternative forms of capital, purchase capital, revenue-based financing. And so we want to make sure that female founders, that not only do they have a great company, but they have a great traction narrative, that they can be able to story tell to the right audiences to help their cause to either attract clients, paid pilots, users, downloads, depending on, like I said, this program is for tech and for CPG companies. We want them to feel confident in their leadership capabilities and their decision-making around their revenue and financial models. And so it matters when they're trying to go to that next milestone, to the next step, which is growth. We're looking for those who want a 25%, who are looking for a 25% growth in their company. And so sometimes you need a little bit of capital infusion. You need a little bit of support. You need additional stakeholders to get there. And we want to make sure that our founders are positioned well enough to be able to go out there and ask for whatever it is that they need, and make sure that their business is healthy enough to be able to do that. And so it may not always be funding for everybody. Not everyone's looking for venture capital dollars. Not everyone's looking for a loan.
Preach.
Everyone is looking for revenue, and everybody's looking to grow their clientele. A healthy business is a growing business. A healthy business is a business that is increasing their revenue. A healthy business is a business that is increasing their employee counts as well over time in a healthy way. And so we want to make sure that our female founders can be competitive, that they're thinking beyond local markets or regional markets. They're thinking national markets. They're thinking about global scale. And that's how you truly get to large enough revenue. And we're doing all that in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so that's why we came to Houston, because Houston has amazing founders. Houston has a great Houston has a great startup community, and Houston has a lot of women founders walking these streets. And so we want to make sure that we're able to connect with them and let them know about the opportunities that exist for their business.
I love that. Okay, so y'all know, if you're looking at this live, if you watch it later, y'all always know I say show up, show up, show up. And this is one of those reasons why, because in like all the stuff that Desiree said, what I heard is that you get an opportunity to sit with the people that are going to say yes or no to the program. You get a cheat sheet. So I heard that. That was very clear as a founder. I heard that. And, you know, I love that you said that, you know, why we, the US space and Build In Tulsa align, because, you know, the US space is female forward, people of color supporting, welcome to everybody that wants to catch the vibe. We ran into each other and really had some good positive collides over the last 2 years during TUS House. And I'll say this, so we are doing TUS House 2026 because people have been asking us, so I'm saying it now. And also, I have to say that it's all our partners. So one of our key pillars with the US space is partnership, and we do our anchor partners for TUS House. So the panel that had the women from NASA on it, that was during that furlough time, that was all Freemanstown Conservancy. You know, the panels that were around tech, that was Clever Group. And a Black female runs that. Innovate 33 that wrote the $5,000 check to a founder pitching. They were a partner. Also, Lorraine Infinity Media. We did media, tech, and owning your voice and your lightness. I mean, all the stuff was done by our partners. So we love that you say that. And I love the feedback of like that reigning true. All right. So what cohort is this going to be coming up?
So this will be the fourth cohort of We Build. And so this cohort, applications are open now. Applications will close on Friday, March 27th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So if you're not in Houston on the 24th or you cannot make the event, we will have virtual info sessions on March 4th and March 18th. About the program. And again, the applications close on March 27th. We'll be interviewing through the month of April. We hope to select our cohort in the month of May of this year. and then that gives them about 3 months to know if they're in the program. We do require that anyone who's not in Tulsa, Oklahoma, relocate to Tulsa for the duration of the program. It is 13 weeks this year, September 2nd through November 20th, 2026. And so they will have to be in Tulsa Monday through Thursday during the duration of those programs, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If they're not from Tulsa, they are free to go home or go wherever. But we do believe that if you're going to be in the program, it's great to stay in Tulsa for weekends on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, just because it's a great way to see if it's a community you can see yourself living in, if you can see yourself thriving in, and if it's a great place to relocate your business or create a satellite office in Tulsa, Oklahoma as well, if relocation is not feasible. We do have mothers who come to our program who, have caregiving going on at home while they're in our program. So we do understand that sometimes it's hard to uproot your entire life to the program. So talking to other people who've been through our program, who've had children back at home and how they manage that, just want to put that out there. Moms are very highly, highly, highly encouraged to apply. And, we've had a lot of moms through our programs, and they can tell you how they figured it out as well. And so Kim was one of those moms who was in our program too. Our leadership instructor, Carlicia Bradley, who runs Amplify for Women, was literally had her twins a few months before she came into our program. So it's feasible for mothers. And I just want to stress that, but definitely tap into our community who've been through Rebuild cohorts 1, 2, and 3 to see kind of what their experience was like. We can connect people to you as well, but we really just want to make sure that you know that you're seen, heard, and supported as a female founder, and we have the right tools and resources to support those needs.
Okay, so I know you said the 24th, but I also know y'all are going to be here on the 25th kicking it. So what's going on the 25th? What's the difference?
I'll also just be around in the morning if folks just want to come and talk. Like if they didn't get a chance to get office hours on Tuesday and they want to just come in and chat, and on Tuesday morning, we'll just hang around just for a little bit. And more so will just be me. But yeah, I'll be there. My flight leaves in the afternoon, so I'll be there in the early morning, hanging around and just chatting with founders.
Yeah, all I'm hearing as a founder is like, if you were interested in doing this and you have questions, come and also meet the people again that are gonna be looking at the applications and can say yes. Like, because for me, y'all know I don't hear no. So all I'm hearing is, oh, come on the 24th and get it. Yes. Yeah. That's not what it is, but it's
getting your leg in the door. Yeah, it's getting your leg in the door. Being seen is really important. Like when you can put, a face to the name on an application, I think it's always great. We don't always get to know a lot of our female founders who come from outside of Oklahoma. And this is another reason why we want to do it too, is just be more face to face. One thing that I always felt, because I am a former founder, I started a tech company in 2010. 16 years ago, there weren't programs like We Build out there. But one thing that I always remembered and still carry with me to this day is that get to know the team. Is like when we tell founders, get to know investors, don't get to know the partner who's the decision maker, who influences the decision maker, who does the decision maker know. Get to know those people. And so be seen. Don't just always think that the paper trail will lead to a yes. When you've gotten to see someone grow, it may not be a yes today. It could be a yes for cohort 5. It could be a yes for cohort 6. We've had people in cohort 3 who applied for cohort 1 and 2 who didn't get in, but they got into cohort 3. But we got to know them. We got to learn about them and really see their journey and their growth. So it's always important to come out and meet the people who run the programs, just because relationship building in this industry is just so key in general, not just for a program like Build In Tulsa, but just for anything that you do.
Yeah, I love that. And that's a good point. So we have about 10 minutes left. So we're going to run through some stuff real quick. So y'all, the whole week is filled at the space, like I said. So we have Build In Tulsa on the 24th and then the 25th. And then on the 26th, we have F Up Nights, Volume 4, and F Up Nights or nights are going to be here at the US space. Akil's going to be doing some real cool stuff with that. And the best thing to know about that is that's an evening event, and it's all around this idea to normalize the fail fast on social media a lot. We're always getting to see people's wins or nothing at all. So this is a way that we can start talking about what we learned in the F up, right? I did it actually during TUS House, and I was one of the founders that talked about my F up, and it was really amazing. And so that's going to be happening the 26th. And then on the 27th, one of the founders, Triangle of the US Space, Myra Shaw, is going to be doing the shift from doing to being. I think there's still a couple tickets still available for that. Everything that we're talking about today, link in the Linktree bio. You can go there. You can scan that QR code at the top of this chat, and those are where those things live. So last thing, before we hop off, if you have Q&A, start dropping it in. If you want the link to this for me to DM it to you directly, just put build either in the chat if you watch this later, and we'll kind of monitor. And if you're in the live, drop some hearts, put build, and we'll put the link to the Build in Tulsa Roadshow to Houston that's happening next Tuesday here in Houston, about a program that provides you funding and support, and maybe a second location for your business, or maybe your first location where you can get funding and everything. So y'all, this is like blowing my mind. I knew about it. I've been reading about it, but there's nothing like hearing it out of somebody's mouth. So the next thing, because y'all aren't just stopping in Houston, y'all are doing something at South by Southwest. Mm-hmm. So why don't you shout that out a little bit?
Yes. Build in Tulsa is one of the sponsors for Dream Wealth Camp, which is a curated program series by Dream Block, run by and founded by Anicia Williams. And this is an opportunity for founders to meet with investors, actually have sit downs, one-on-one office hours with investors during one leg of the program. But it's also an opportunity to understand, how do you grow your business? The Dream Block program, the Dream Wealth Camp program by Dream Block is all about scale and growth. How do you grow as a founder? What are the actual practical things that you can do, you can put into your business after you leave their Dream Wealth Camp? And so myself and LaGina are going to be speakers at the Dream Wealth Camp this year. And so, but topics just range from, like, when you think about like fundraising, but like making sure you're aligned on thesis with your the people that you're going to maybe look at for fundraising. Like, it's not about like how do you fundraise, but it's about what do you need to be ready in terms of business model readiness, financial readiness, revenue readiness, customer growth and readiness, what that looks like. And if you're not there today, how you can get your business ready to be able to one day take on funding. So Dream Wealth Camp is all about what she's trying to understand is for founders, how can they close that funding gap, and how can they close other gaps within their business so that they're growing, they're scaling, and that one day, hopefully, they can exit a company and create multi-generational wealth for themselves and for their communities. So the Dream Wealth Camp mission and vision statement definitely matches the Build in Tulsa mission and vision statement, because at the end of the day, we're all about increasing access to multi-generational wealth for founders of color through tech innovation and entrepreneurship. And that is exactly what Dream Wealth Camp does as well. And over those 2 days is learning from speakers like who've been through exiting a startup, who are investors into startups, who support startups, who are current founders within a startup, or who help support operations within a startup. So it's very founder focused. These are people who've done it before and have been and are where you want to go. And so going to this Dream Wealth Camp at South by Southwest in Houston on March 11th to the 12th will be a great opportunity for you to find that out. And so yeah, definitely, if you can go to Dream Block, which is DREAMBLOC.com, and look up the Dream Wealth Camp programming. There are registrations open now for founders. And so you just got to hit apply now and register for office hours too, so you can meet with those investors. But yeah, applications will close soon. South by Southwest is right around the corner.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And shout out also to Myra, who is another speaker at the Dream Wealth Boot Camp. I'm really, really excited about this. I love, as a founder, talking about ecosystem building, community, how to build communities. Also, is I always tell people I'm in a really unique position because I'm on the side of building and growing and being a very young founder to a lot of people when you think about it. But I also have the privilege of speaking on stages and sitting on panels and judging and doing all that stuff. So my juxtaposition is always as a positive disruptor, because I think that it's important that our voices also get heard on both sides as we're growing. So I'm very excited to be speaking at South by Southwest in Houston. So y'all, I am with Desiree of Build In Tulsa. It is Friday. We're doing this live. We're about to wrap it up. And this is all about, the things that are happening at TUS for the end of February, and also the We Build Houston Roadshow that will be here February 24th and 25th, right here at the US space. And Build In Tulsa is doing some awesome stuff. And yeah, I'm just excited. So before we hop off, I will say that I want everybody to save the date for the 4th annual HERStory month celebration and awards that will be happening March 27th. And we got some cool stuff coming up for that. Yes, the awards are still as unique as they were the year before. We're going to have some new partners in the house, great music, great food. And as you know, or if you don't know, the HERStory Month celebration and awards was brought to me by one of our members that was like, did you notice during the month of March, we work a lot more, but we're supposed to be celebrating? Mm-hmm. And so it's literally a party. We call it awards because we do give awards to people that are building and supporting community women and that are always trying to fly under the radar or maybe aren't getting that full recognition. And so we have a little small panel that picks people and we make it a good time, fun and quick. It's really around showing up last couple of days of the month of March, vibing out and having a good time at a party. So that's what we're doing. Desiree, what do you have before we hop off?
Just wanted to see you all at the Yes Space on Tuesday, February 24th at 10 o'clock a.m. Please register. It's on, you can DM for more information at the Yes Space. It's on the Build In Tulsa LinkedIn as well. And I believe it's also on Instagram. And you can also, I'm just Desiree Frieson 85 on Instagram. If you also want to reach out to some more information, you can find me on LinkedIn. Desiree Frieson, Frieson on LinkedIn if you want to also DM and ask more questions. But we just want to meet you. So that's all I got to say.
I love that. Yep. Y'all know you can find me on LinkedIn at LaGina R Harris. You can find the US Space on LinkedIn. Just type in the space, US space. and on Instagram, the link in the bio actually has all the things to register for all the events next week at the US Space. And again, y'all, this is a free event. If we did not say it, this is 100% free, but not free because we know that as founders, our time is precious and sweat equity is real. So put some sweat equity in at a high value amount, show up and really find out what's going on with Build In Tulsa. Hey, Build In Tulsa, Desiree, I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And we will see y'all next week when y'all arrive on Monday to set up. We've got your boxes coming in and everything's good to go. So we appreciate y'all. Thanks everybody for streaming and we'll see y'all next week. All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.